Om, all those that are invisible are filled by Brahman. All those that are visible are also fully permeated by Brahman. The whole universe has come out of the whole Brahman. Yet Brahman is still full, although the entire universe has come out of it. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are at the end of the chapter, what is called the last chapter, chapter 6. And before we have read, this Upanishad is giving the highest idea of meditation. It's very beautiful verses we have gone through. That was for contemplation and meditation. What we said, Nitto Anityanam, he is the eternal amongst the non-eternal, changeless among the all changes, conscious among all relative consciousness, behind that consciousness is one absolute, and you are fulfilling the desires of infinite number of creation, and is the cause of all reality. And it's going to be attempted or experienced by Sankhya, by analytical process, or by meditation, yoga, adhi. And if one realizes that truth, gyatva sarva devam muchyate sarva pasaihi. If one gets into it, he will be freed from all bondage and ignorance. Then we read, in that plane when one gets freedom, then he will reach that plane where there is no sun, there is no moon, there is no stars, nor the question of any light, but the question of the lightning. He shines everywhere. That's a beautiful verse. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. He shining, everything shines. And it is because he shines, everything shines after him. By the light of his, all this is whatever you see shining or manifesting. And it is the only reality. Eko hansha bhuvanasya madde. That one said who destroys all ignorance, that one is embedded into the world, in the earth. Saeva agni. In the fire is that reality. In the water, solile, sannivisto, is embedded into the water, air, fire, whatever you see. And only knowing that, not knowing intellectually, but knowing that, tameva viditva, knowing only that, atimrittumeti, one can cross the series of birth and death. There is no other way to get out of this ignorance. Like that, we read that 19th verse. He is niskalam, he has no parts, he is beyond all parts. Niskalam, niskriyam, there is an action, shant, eternally calm and serene. Nirabhadrang niranjanam, there is no comparison of it. Niranjanam, stainless. And they say, amritasya parang setum. It is a bridge to the immortality. And it is like the fire which destroys all ignorance. And that reality, I take refuge in that. And today is the conclusion of this chapter and the whole book. He says that how this knowledge came to this Śvetāśvatara. Śvetāśvatara is the name of a holy man who practiced this and who got this wisdom. How he got it? Today we read, tapaprabhavat devaprasadatcha, tapaprabhavat devaprasadatcha, brahma śvetāśvataro, brahma śvetāśvataro, atho vidvan, attasramibhyo paramam pavitram, atya shramibhyo paramam pavitram provacha sammak rishishanga juṣṭaṃ. So it says himself, he realized this, himself realized this Śvetāśvatara, he realizing that Brahman, how he got it? By tapa prabhava, by the power of austerity, by the power of the serious self-control. Austerity means any austerity we do, what austerity does, it gets your control over the senses. Tongue says, I will eat. If you stop it, then you are mastering your tongue. Eyes say, I will see. You say, no. Then you are controlling your mind. So tapasya means austerity, physical, and also to control all the senses. And control mind also gets controlled. Mind control, then senses control. It has a chain reaction. So this he realized himself, that Śvetāśvatara, the sage, he realized this truth. How? Tapa prabhavat, by the influence or impact of austerity. Right? Mastering the mind and mastering the senses, controlling everything. And then devā prasadat, also he got the blessings of the Lord. As one does spiritual practice, naturally God's grace also dawns. So by the grace of God, self-control and concentration of mind, as well as the grace of God, this Śvetāśvatara Rishi expounded well to the highest order of sannyasis. So he realized first and then spoke. That is the ancient tradition. All the Upanishads they are revelation of the sages. The sages first realize them, and what he realizes, he speaks to his lineage, next generation, those who are dedicated for that purpose. So he dedicated the sannyasins. Sannyasins means fit candidate. What sannyasin means? Sannyasi is, who is a sannyasi? Sannyasi is not wearing a girva, but sannyasi is samāne, who has been successful in throwing away all the attachments, all the identification with body, mind, etc. Totally. Samāne, sammagrupena, niṣedhuḥ, tyaga. Sammagrupena means perfectly. Niṣedhuḥ means to the extreme end. He has discarded the attachment, worldliness, and he has withdrawn his mind from that. So sannyasinam. So he preached his experiences, what we are reading now, is given to his sannyasin disciples. That means who are ready. Swami Ramakrishna realized the truth. Look at the same experience. Ramakrishna realized the truth and then he didn't sit idly. He could not. Buddha realized the truth, he could not sit. After realization, sitting, okay, I got realization and that's all. It is a force, push them. To whom shall I say this message, this wonderful experience, this experience of freedom and joy and love and blessings, no? To whom shall I say? So Buddha was madly walking back and forth for 3 days. And then he ran to, or came to Benares to teach his message, what he got it. To those 5 ascetics who he started his spiritual journey at the beginning. And these 5 ascetics left him because he was eating some payasam. We like it so much. And they thought that he is breaking his vows of austerity. So the 5 people left him. And when Buddha was approaching them, they from a distance said, oh, that guy is coming, who have fallen yogi is coming. But when he came in front of them and appeared, his spirituality, his glow and his such intense purity transformed them, and they all became a disciple. First, these 5 become the disciple of Buddha. Ramakrishna, he realized in all this possible way, and then he's crying in the top of the Kutibadi, that house where Ramakrishna used to live, in the top of the house, and crying like a mad guy in the evening, "Come, come, I am okay, oh my boys, where are you?" Who are they calling? Calling those who will be pure soul, who can have the receptivity. That's why Sri Ramakrishna came and gave that his treasure. He poured the treasure. Where? In the heart of Vivekananda, Brahmananda, Shivananda, no? And then, but he could have sat idly, but no, it is not that. That's why here he says, he himself realized, provacha sammak rishishanga juṣṭaṃ. He then related his experience. This experience, what we read now, he experiences to rishi sangha juṣṭaṃ. Rishi sangha. The sangha means the group. The group of people. Here they have said rishi. And the Swami here is translated as sannyasin. Rishi means those who are seers of truth. But they are seekers of truth. That means very advanced soul. He expressed this idea to them so that they can practice and they can retain, and that tradition will be followed in future. So he said, tapaprabhavat, to the power of his self-control and concentration of mind, that's it, of power. That power comes out of tapasya. That's why spiritual life cannot be attained by only leading a luxurious life or just superficially. It should go deeper inside, and deeper inside is austerity. Two types of austerity, the external austerity, internal austerity. External austerity is fasting, taking the minimal food, or enduring the cold and heat. But finer austerity is enduring praise and blame. Someone looking at you in a harsh way, and you get upset. No, you are a failure. That is not tapasya. That means here you have to conquer. That is the austerity. I don't have to be affected by them. So you have to create such a wonderful strength inside. That strength will help to reveal the truth which is within. So tapasya is external, tapasya is internal. So old tradition was the external austerity, focused more. See, we hear in the Puranas, we are talking about Puranas, they are meditating on one leg. They say 10,000 years. I do not know how it is that 10,000 years means a long period. 10,000 years, how will you live one person, I do not know. But anyhow, it is given the idea that they are performing that austerity in one leg standing. That's really austerity, you know, to stand for in one leg, how many minutes you can stand. And that austerity I am doing for God. God will be really kind to me, seeing the trouble I am making to my body. I saw many such things. People will be sitting on the thorn. How they do, I do not know. It pricks, no? But he is sitting there for quite a long time. So these are austerities. And in the cold, they used to do this type of japa. In the Ganga, you dip up to this far and do japa. And it's cold, freezing cold, ice cold water. Even now you can go and find some austere people like that. At Kumbh Mela, and there are so many austere sadhus you can find. That's the external austerity. There's nothing wrong. But too much on that, what happens, you get no time to focus on meditation and the real thing. I'm not the body is the question. But to avoid pleasure, little pleasure of the body is necessary. But again you are paying attention day and night, how I am standing in one leg. One gentleman, one sadhu, he happened to come in Calcutta because there is Ganga Sagar Mela. There is a confluence of Ganga in the Bay of Bengal. There is a big celebration. People of all spiritual denomination come to take a dip in the cold Makar Sankranti. Just in this time, heaviest of the, and wind blows, Baba, you will be shivering like, and they are not habituated that to stay in a cold weather. But anyhow, all of them come.
Interestingly, they take that one either when the river is getting mixed with ocean, merging there, or Ganga and Yamuna and Saraswati,
Merging
they are
there.
merging
Confluence, places of
together.
confluence.
Getting
Wherever you go, but that is a cold water, very, very cold water, and environment is very austere, very austere. And that time sadhus come, and diverse types of austere sadhus can be visible. So I was watching one Swami, his only sadhana is he standing whole day and night. He never sat. Not one day, not 2 days, months, and standing. How he stands? Night time he will have to sleep. But standing he sleeps. How? He makes a rope hanging from the branch of a tree. Wherever he goes, he finds a tree branch, and ties some knot there, and puts his arms inside, and the armpit hangs on the arm, like here. And his leg has become swollen like this, and I saw the water oozing out. But that is the austerity they are doing. I asked how many. He told about 10, 20 years what he is doing. Baba. This is austerity. And they have control over their body and mind, see? And another, we saw like that. He has his matted lock, Baba, big. He never put oil into the hair. And so it has become big and big and big. And nail, I saw one. The hand has become urdhvahu. His right hand up all the time. He never pulled down. And it has become emaciated to almost such a scene, it is very difficult to watch even. And the nail has turned coiled like that. So these are austerities. And that has its own value and importance. But austerity more is called, in modern age, this is more austerity. In early days, people have less mental troubles. Society was good, people used to love each other and all this situation. But now, it is more austerity to live with people. To live with people and to ignore things which for spiritual growth, how much to take, how much to not to take. That is called austerity. And that can be practiced in... So he practiced in the tapaprabhava, means he practiced the power of his self-control. Self-control. Whatever body needs, mind needs, no. Say no to that. No. If it is for my spiritual growth, not necessary, okay, I will avoid that.
Doesn't physical austerities also help with concentration, though, for internal?
Yeah, it will do that up to certain limit. What happens too much sadhana, it may be few people may be suitable for that. It tells upon the health for them, and they fall sick. So to that point is good, and that will help in controlling the senses also, because if they are not getting food. When your mind becomes control means pure. Whatever you control, you become powerful. So that's that optimum limit. You have to, everyone should understand how far is good for me, and beyond that, if it hurts or if it does something, to take care of that. And in our tradition, is Gita's ideal Madhyapantha. Natyas natastu yoga asti nachoikantam anasnato. Yoga, spiritual identity with God, yoga, is now possible for natas natastu. oti asnatostu. Those who are eating too much, so much. Yoga is not possible because that takes their body. Naturally, as we feel, if we eat little more, body feels tired, no? We like to go to sleep or to tamas. Tamas quality comes. So, oti asnatostu, na yoga asti. They have no yoga. No anasnato, that means who does not eat at all. Yoga is also not possible for him. And Buddha did that extreme and reached a point, it was impossible to continue, but he did it. He became some description he paid. He was skinny, he becomes to the bones. But then he reverted the Madhyapanta, Yogasti. So middle path is the path. Don't be too engaging into anything and don't be too much on either side. The balancing. Everyone knows how much is balance. And actually I have heard, I didn't do long fasting, but I have understood it this much, that after that you feel fresh. After you do the austerity or fasting something, you feel good. Your health, your mind. People say you become weak. No, sometimes it does not become weak, they become strong, cheerful, light, body feels light. Anyhow, so he did that to the power of his self-control and concentration of the mind. Self-control and concentration. Self-control means I will not do, but concentration means applying the mind for God. Two things. Mere austerity is not the point, but austerity result, that control, is I am focusing on God. So a dual action. And then devā prasadat. We may try 100-fold effort, but it is God's grace. So even yama, niyama, when we read, what is the niyama? Niyama is śocati, santosha, tapa, saddhaya, īśara pranidhana. Out of the 5, you Raja Yoga you have read, niyama, what are the rules? I will follow 5 rules. What are the 5 rules? Śocati. I will keep the body and mind clean. Body, mainly body. Śocati. Santos, mind also peaceful. Pure body, pure mind. Mind not agitated with anything. Anyone can disturb. No, I will not be disturbed. So that's why santos means keep the mind contented. Or whatever situation comes, I am in difficulty. Yes, I am in difficulty, but there are other people more in difficult position. So, to considering that, we can keep our mind calm. So uchu santos. Tapasya, we are talking of austerity. Tapasya, austerity. Some fasting or going to some secluded place for... our secluded place is our temple. Whole day the temple is here. One can come and can do austerity daytime, not whole night. Now he will be engaged. So...
Martin or Ashland, the police came and chased me away.
Oh.
There's no way it can be all night march here. You chase me away, then the police chase me.
Yes. And nowadays a danger. More dangerous situation. So, this practice is that is the tapasya. And then, as I said, saucha santas tapa, sadhaya, you can study noble books, inspirational books, and concentrate, meditate on that, or lila chinta, whatever you do, divine thought of the divine, sports of the Lord, think of all this. These are all done. But the 5th point is īśara pranidhana. Or do everything you do. Then say, oh Lord, you are the power. You are the last. Please help me. I am trying this much within my limit. But I cannot cross that. Ramakrishna's example, that a cow is given a little rope, and the cow has the freedom to eat the grass here and there. And you should exhaust eating. Then only his rope is extended or taken to a new place. So this is the point. We should exhaust our limit by keeping the body pure, mind contented, austerity practice little, study of the scriptures and spiritual texts, singing, bhajan, etc., etc. All I do, but I cannot get God realization. Devā prasadat. Upanishad is showing, I am Atman, I am Brahman, but they all end in devā prasada. So, Shankaracharya says, no? Shankaracharya, Advitya Shankara, he says, Annapurna Stotra we chant every day. But Makṣaddharo kapato patana kari, kashi puradhisari, bhikṣaṃ dehi, kripa avalamana kari, mata annapurnesari. Oh Mother, Annapurna, you give the food, nourishment, spiritual nourishment. We chant every time. You can break this door which is blocking me for my experiencing and entering into the inner realm. Please kindly wide open my door. So that is Shankaracharya's teaching us. So many people think Advaita Vedanta, so I don't care anything. No. Advaita Vedanta is too good, but you have to go through this process. And Ishvara Anurag and Ishvara surrender to Ishvara is a wonderful thing, and it is a must to be done. So, Tapa Prasada, Deva Prasad, the grace of God. So, and Śvetāśvatara, the sage Śvetāśvatara, the rishi, who is the expounder of this text which you read, Brahma Vidwan. Brahma Vidwan, Vidwan means knowing or experiencing that Brahman. He himself did this austerity, did this practice, and then long time concentrating and doing all these things, he first realized the truth. That is the difference. First realizing oneself inside, then one can teach. But now in Kali Yuga, it has become different. In earlier days, only the realized soul, they are permitted to talk, and other intellectual scholars will be there to debate, to clarify their mind. But new generation is difficult. So we are all preaching Vedanta. But have you realized God? If someone tells me, what shall you respond? No, you are good. You do, you will get. No? There is a contradiction. This contradiction also can be solved. In our tradition, we are not teaching it to teach you. This is a value. I am thinking out loud to clarify my doubts of my own mind. When we read, we think more, and we talk, we express that thought in a loud voice. So, it is not preaching, but it is my self-study. That is our attitude. When I join the brahmachari, just maybe within 5-6 months or something, and I am to give some talk. I said, I am not come here to do this. And then one Swami told me, what will you do? Will you say, hey, I have this vision, I have this experience, hey, come to me. Will you say like that? What will you say? You will read the Gita and you will try to understand the Gita yourself, how much you have understood, and you will have to prepare yourself more to talk to other people. So it is your sadhana. It is not for your pride. It is for not how big I am a scholar, speaker. That is not spirituality. Spirituality is here, that it is my sadhana. As I do japa, so I read this scripture. And when I read this scripture aloud, I think more. And that's my sadhana. My mind is becoming clear. Same work, attitude is different. And that is the Vedantic neo-philosophy. Neo-philosophy of Vedanta is that we don't preach Vedanta ourselves. We only study for our own benefit, and as I am reading, I am like expressing so that others may have some benefit out of it. Maybe or may not be, but that's not my goal. Goal is my understanding, my spiritual practice. As I do japa, this is also another japa. It is clarifying the cobweb of my mind and misunderstanding day by day, day by day, day by day, as much as we say. When pride comes, ego comes, then the spiritual life is dwindled. Many, that is everywhere it is Bhagbai Kori, Shabda Juri, Viveka Chudamani, always warns. You may be scholar. Scholar is one thing, but our study for our own self-realization. It is no other purpose of it. So that is this difference. So if many people may think, why our Ramakrishna mission monks, sadhus speak, talk, lecture, it is for more clarification, more understanding. Say we translate books. There are many big guys who can do the translation. But we know when we try one line you translate, you think more. It can be taken as a sadhana, a spiritual practice for my growth. When you think of your growth, then you are spiritual. When you think that you are giving your lesson to others, then you are a teacher. These teachers have their own reward, but spiritual teachers will have their own reward. So this is very important. Therefore, this said, knowing Brahman, Brahmo Vidwan. Ekhane Brahmo Vidwan means knowing Brahman, that is experiencing Brahman. This Śvetāśvatara says, Attaswamibhyo. Attaswami means those who have given beyond the ashramas. Brahmacharya, Garastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. Attaswami means sannyasis. They have gone out of the ashramas where duties and responsibilities are more for ritualistic sadhana. In early days, they had the ritualistic sadhana means home of fire. You have to conduct every day some oblation for the home of fire. But monks are exempt from that, because monks will be where they will collect ghee, where they will collect all this material, where is the money. So these rishis have exempted them. They will only, their jnana yagga. What they will do? Day and night, analyze real, unreal. That is their yagga, the fire of their yagga. They should always be keeping alive that analytical mind to always say, Satchidananda is the reality. Everything is changing and momentary. The same formula. And whole life, people get tired. People say, how much to listen to that? Yeah, I am here 31 years. This same talk, I am talking. What is the benefit of it? No benefit. Benefit is that to really make it understanding to myself. Really I mean that it is real or unreal. So it needs greater devotion. And their Attaswami, that will be their jnana yagga. They don't do other yagna with the firewood, or the ghee and oblation and bell leaf and mantras and chants and all these things. No. This is the jnana yagga, day and night thinking. How am I the body? Am I the mind? There is nothing more in Vedanta. Two principles, if we can remember in our mind. Panchakosa vichara. Analysis of your 5-sheet idea. The sheets, 5 sheets. Body, mind, body, prana, mana, intellect, and ego. And inside is the light. I am that light, not these other sheets. No? And waking, dreaming, and sleep. 3 states of our awareness. Consciousness remaining the same, but states are changing. I am the unchangeable. Witness consciousness idea. It's a simple, few formula. Vedanta has nothing much to do. And all these big books have been written only to say these ideas only. So that's why it is Attaswami, they are the fit candidate to listen to these mantras. Why? Others will go to the karma kando. They will do karma kando. Karma is very much essential for the beginners. One should start with karma. And present modern Vedanta says, you join, you do, become a sadhu, do karma. Karma, 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 karma. Then you really feel, did I do for God or did I do it for me? If I have done for me, I have a good name, fame, clapping of the hand. But after few days, all will go. But if I did it for God, 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 then you are preparing yourself, attaswami. And then karma stops. Internal karma, inner karma increases. So they do the karma, they don't think they are doing karma. They are doing only jnana. That's why we call our karma in Vedanta societies, philosophically, it is practical Vedanta. The Vedanta truth putting into practice. Giving a glass of water, I am giving to the divine who is within you. The divine giving divine is a much higher level of service. So this is the idea in our order. In present day, Veda and Upanishad can be understood this way. It is not karma. Karma is not karma. That's why we come with the idea karma. That's why the Sangha, this order, puts us to karma, heavy karma. And then you see that no, it is not karma, but it is for freedom. And that's also service. And service to whom? For God. Atma mukti jagat hita. Atma mukti is the primary purpose. And jagat hita is a byproduct. You need not have to think of jagat hita. If you are a good man, you will do good, unnecessarily, not to no other advice is necessary. If you are a really spiritual person, you see some suffering, you will pray to God immediately, or you can try to do help. It will be spontaneous. So this is the point, that karma, first sakama, it becomes niskama, and niskama, when in niskama, internal work starts, jnana yoga. It is all the Vedantic truth. People meditate on Vedantic truth day and night. But with eyes open, they can see God. That is their sadhana. Looking as we read, it has entered into the water, into the fire, into this and that. That thought will just come spontaneously in the heart of that person. He is becoming spiritual more and more. So jnana yoga, that is the ultimate.
A spiritual person is not necessarily good in the eyes of society.
What?
A spiritual person, he might not be good in society's opinion. He might be
So I'm not talking about society's opinion, but society will benefit out of them because their outer behavior is not always as Ramakrishna says, like balakavat, like a child, sometimes they behave like a ghoul. Say very ugly, dirty, nasty, and it looks from outside, no one can judge that. And like a mad person, he has no identification with anything. Sometimes they are naked, roaming around. So, but that is in high state. Very difficult to assess whether he is in that state or he is somewhere deluded to feel that I have experienced. Very way. And Ramakrishna Mission says, you can be highly spiritual and you can be highly practical. This is the Ramakrishna Mission. Highly spiritual, highly practical. Rather is Lokeshwarananda Swami example. There are other, Nityaswarupananda Swami, hard exterior. You will see that he is always criticizing this, that. But he is actually immersed in that consciousness. So outside it will be difficult. But in our tradition, it should not be contradicting reason. Your life should not contradict reason, and it should be balanced. That's why in our order, anyone can see in India, any Ramakrishna Mission sadhus, you don't need to tell that he's Ramakrishna Mission sadhu. They, in the bus, in the train, in anywhere, they say he's Ramakrishna Mission sadhu. Because they have a pattern like that. So, because they're outside, they become polished babus. Yeah? And internally, they try to spiritualize that life. So that's why contradiction comes. The sadhus are becoming luxurious, this, that. Yes, we should be careful about that ourselves, but we make a balance of that. So, Uttasrami means to those highest order of sannyasis. They are monks. Why monks? Because don't throw your pearls among the swines. What the swine will understand your value of the pearl. No? If one does not know the value of the thing and you give it unwantedly, it is a waste.
But isn't it the common property of every man, woman and child?
That common property, but say a 50-year-old boy, you cannot give the teaching of the PhD subject into the brain. Let him mature. You give him the 5th grade study. According to the condition, one should be fed. Everyone's stomach is not strong, so you have to give according to the tummy of the person. So spiritual food also should be very careful. Truth is truth to be given everyone. That's a great thing. But if you give it indigestion, you give a good food to a person's weak stomach, to a person, you feed well, but that will harm the person. Because he will be vomiting, he will be not able to digest, and even good things will not good, because his body and mind should be prepared. So, Uttasrami is very important katha, important word, because Ramakrishna is searching for, so many people are coming, and Ramakrishna is pouring his heart to teach them, but no effect, because they have no receptivity. Receptivity is a question, no? In a college, they ask us our qualification. Why? Will you be receptive to the teaching? That's why, and the prerequisites are very important. The Uttasrami is very neat for Upanishad meditation. Uttasrami, monastic feeling should be there. Not that you should be a monk outside, but your mind should be pure like that, so that you can get these teachings and can absorb it. So that is the Uttasrami means here. Uttasrami bo paramam pavitram. This is the true, this spirituality, what we learned, is this paramam means supreme, and pavitra is the holy. Greatest subject in the world, the holiness, maximum holiness, the purity. So that is the highest. Rishi sanga juṣṭaṃ, restored to be all by the seers of truth. This Brahma Sammak well expounded. So he says, tapaprabhāvāt devaprabhāvācca brahmo ha śvetāśvatara ato vidvan, himself realizing Brahman by the power of self-control and concentration of mind, as well as by the grace of God, the says Śvetāśvatara expounded well to the highest order of sannyasins, the truth that supremely holy Brahman restored to be all the seers. So he gave this, and this is open to all, as you said, but it is receptivity. How many people purchases this book? How many people read this book? No? So it is open. Now it is in the age of what you call digital age. This book maybe has so many varieties of explanations, all are available. But how? First of all, reading, who is going to read and who is going to understand correctly, wrongly. So preparation is necessary. That's why he said it is to be practiced. He realized one and he gave it to the expounded well to the highest order of sannyasins. Why highest order? It is not for keeping the knowledge controlled by some place, but it is because receptivity is not there, misunderstanding, misconception will happen. In Bengali they call bodhajam, indigestion. Given a good food to a weak stomach, it will do harm. Even the experience Ramakrishna gave to devotees, if their system is not ready, it will have reaction, and that is very difficult. Rather, everyone should move according to the stage. This mantra shows the necessity of self-effort, God's grace as well as supreme vairagya, three things. Na? He is saying the mantra shows necessity of self-effort. That I will do it by austerity, by practice, by Guru grace, and vairagya, the renunciation. It's a heart which knows to detach. If it is attached to things, pouring this knowledge, it will like a, Ramakrishna gave the example that the farmer is bringing water into the farmland, but at the end of the day, he sees that the water is all gone. Where the water gone? There is some hole. So he cannot retain retentivity. That's why detachment is the cause of retentivity. For realizing of the highest truth, it also implies that a true spiritual instructor must himself be a knower of Brahman. 2 points. You are preaching Brahma Jnana, so you should also, either you have experienced the truth or you have advanced so much that you can guide me. So two are necessary. Now this same verse is explained by here. As it is well known, Śvetāśvatara, having realized Brahman through the power of austerities and the grace of God, thereafter fully taught to the monks of the Supreme and Holy, that is duly adored by the host of sages. Shankara's word-for-word meaning is, he is used for indicating a well-known fact, Śvetāśvatara, a rishi by that name, Vidwan, having realized directly the indivisible Brahman as I am Brahman, through contemplation and meditation with earnestness, continuity and devotion, etc. After hearing about the aforesaid knowledge, Brahman from his teacher, as it had been handed down traditionally. So students should learn from the teacher and then be austere and practice this way, so that it began, and what to think? That I am Brahman, directly, that indivisible Brahman as I am Brahman, through contemplation, meditation, and earnest continuous devotion. See, Shankara is saying that you need a devotion. People think that jnana is minus devotion. Tapa prabhavat, through the power of austerities, such painful austerities as in Chandrayana. What is Chandrayana?
You rise like 16 days of the moon.
Yeah.
Then every day waiting, you take one less palm of rice.
Ah.
By amāvasya, you're fasting. And then
You start one palm and then
you start 16 palms.
16 palm and reduce to 1 palm. One handful of.
And then you go back up 16.
Go up. See? Eating every day, 1. 16 you start with, and every day goes 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1. And lastly 1. As you are doing more austerity, your food intake is less and less. And then you again come back, more add 1 more. It is like a puruṣo. For that is the conventional meaning of the word tapaha. This is suggestive of all the daily obligatory rites and duties undertaken according to the injunction for the smritis, say, one-pointedness of the mind and the organs in the highest tapas. Mahabharata says that this austerity brings 2 things, one-pointedness of the mind and the organs control in the highest. Since all those austerities existed in that Śvetāśvatara as per rule, therefore through the power of devā prasadat and to the grace of God, through the grace of the superior Lord, who had been worshipped approximately in many past lives with view to acquiring fitness for the attainment of liberation. Shankara will not let it go. Shankara says you cannot get this idea of Vedantic idea clear unless you do purify yourself for a long time by prayer and crying and weeping, doing upasana, doing puja, offering flower. That purified you so much. Now, as a product, this time you are fit to listen to. So it may be in past life, or one can do it in this life also. Start that way. Devā prasadad, and to the grace of God, to the grace of the Supreme Lord, who had been worshipped approximately in many past lives with a view to acquiring fitness. Brahman of unlimited greatness, thereafter, after firmness in his own experience, vṛkṣe, taught fully. This word is to be connected with these ways. That is vṛkṣe juṣṭaṃ, according to maxims of the crow's eyeball. Crow's eyeball, what is that? Maxim, crow's eyeball. Anyhow. Attassamibha means to the person belonging to the most adorable stage of life. For this myth, he says, the word ati denotes adoration. That is to those owing to the glory of fullness of their four kinds of discipline, did not have any dependence, which four means sadhana chatushta, four kinds of dependence even on their own bodies and on means of the livelihood. Therefore it means to those who had an abundance of detachment. Main austerity is detachment. How we can detach from the body. If there be no abundant detachment, then indirect knowledge of Brahman remains infructuous. Therefore a wise man should forever diligently maintain detachment. And in another Smriti Shastra, Shankara says, when there arises in the mind this passion towards all objects, then only should a man of knowledge take to monasticism, otherwise he will become degraded. Becoming a renunciate, he should have to, mind should be, practice of detachment should be practiced long time. Thus, attasramis means paramahamsa sannasins. We are paramahamsa sannasins. Ramakrishna mission sadhus, because Ramakrishna is paramahamsa, so we are their chelas. So you fall in their lineage. It's called paramahamsa lineage. For they verily belong to the most adorable state of life. In support of this, Shruti says, the word Nyaso means Brahma, the word. Brahma stands indeed for the Supreme is verily Brahma. These austerities are nearly inferior. Renunciation alone surpass them all. The monks are the four classes, Bahudaka, Kutichaka, Hamsa and Paramahamsa. The succeeding one is better than the preceding one. To those monks, he taught fully in the way that it is directly realized as the self. Paramam Pravittam is the supreme Brahman that is under consideration, that indeed is the highest, free from ignorance and its effects, and homogeneous bliss par excellence. Pavitram means the holy, free from all taints of prakriti and its effect. Rishi Sangha juṣṭaṃ means adored by the hosts of sages, adored as the self by the assembly of such sages, Vāmadeva, Sanaka and others. That means in the assembly of Vāmadeva, Sanaka and others, they realized, say that group of people, they heard this message. Restored to the bliss that is the dearest and that has been well meditated on. For this Upanishad says, but all is loved for the sake of self. Atmartham, you love everything because of Atman. So, the knowledge of Brahman should be imparted after resting the disciple of such characteristic, testing. you should teach any student. That's why earlier days, going to any teacher, if you want to learn Vedanta, they will not allow it as soon as you go. They will test you. They keep you there as a disciple and make them work on this and that. And when you are really, they feel that they are a fit student, then they will impart that knowledge. But now AI and Google have taken that position. Rather, you need not have to question too many things. Just you write one in split second, you can get the uttar. But that is the, yes, you can get the information. But when Guru tells something, he gives his additional power into that. Mantra may be mantra. Aham brahmasmi will be the mantra. Tattamasi is the mantra. All the sannyasis, they could get mantras out of these four. But it can be in the machine. Machine can tell aham brahmasmi, but that will not have effect. It should come to a guru who has realized or who has advanced, that power should come. That's why that is important. So knowledge of Brahman should be imparted after testing a disciple of such characteristics as mentioned above. The text now states the fault arising from imparting the knowledge by ignoring this testing. The Vedic source of that knowledge is mystical nature and is being propounded through a succession of teachers. So next verse will say, if you don't go, then Guru Parampara will be broken. And knowledge will be misunderstood. And I will read what this Swami Lokeshwarananda talks about this. He says, Śvetāśvatara attained self-knowledge. It's a very easier way of expressing the truth. Śvetāśvatara, the sage Śvetāśvatara, attained self-knowledge by the power of his austerities and by the grace of God, to whom he rendered selfless service. Then he passed on his knowledge to monks, to those who had renounced the world, just as he had experienced it. Earlier sages such as Sanaka had sought this supreme knowledge. So two things are necessary for success in spiritual life. One is tapaha, that is austerity, hard work. He has explained is hard work. See, modern explanation. Earlier explanation, you have to do austerity. But he is saying hard work and effort. Ramakrishna Vedanta. So,
what about zeal? Vyakulata is tapaha.
Vyakulata should be more increasing. Then God, it is said God makes the way. If you are genuinely asking for something, when time comes, God will really create some environment like that. That's God's grace.
Vyakulata will automatically lead to the hard work.
But the tapa,
Fire
is to burn for life.
No, true, you are correct. Vyakulata, when it will come, you may not be interested in working. That maybe mood may come. But in our tradition it is said, Vyakulata means you should be Vyakula to help others, who is God in crisis. God in crisis.
All time like that. That's working hard only. That's the fire of tapasya only.
Swami Virajananda is asking Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda saying, go to East Bengal, now it's Bangladesh, and preach, go and say. He said, no, Maharaj, Swamiji, no, Swamiji, I cannot go. I do not know anything, what shall I say? Then he said, what? You will say this much, that I do not know anything. Go and tell. Then he said, no, I cannot go. Then he said, what? You are seeking your own salvation first. You will go to hell. Guru is telling that you will go to hell if you seek your own salvation first. Go and help. That means this feeling of Vyakulata for God should flow into the human, because it is all God. So Vyakulata is a pure thing, and that's true. It goes to God and God alone. But God not only here, God here also. That's a new Vedanta. It brings the connection with the humanity. Swami Vivekananda used to say, I have fallen in love. So he said, fallen in love with whom? I have fallen in love with this, the suffering of others. Humanity. He used the word humanity. I am helpless. I will have to do something. I am restless. Because I love humanity. With that. And also, Ramakrishna has significant, I never thought this way. See, Naren will teach. Inside and outside, he will, when he roared like a lion, no? Another word is there, joy, Radhe, Premamayi. Why Radha and Prema is coming here? What is the connection with Radha and Prema? Radha and Prema is bhakti. Krishna, 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 dance and sing. Here is Radha. Radha, Premamayi. The Radha who is the embodiment of Prema is in the heart of Vivekananda. And that Prema is Krishna everywhere. So the love for that. It's a new explanation, new idea. So this is the Vedantic way of thinking. That is austerity, hard work and effort. You must try very hard as you can. The second is Deva Prasadat, the grace of God. But here, what if you are a non-dualist and do not recognize there is a God? The word Deva may also refer to the self. It is though the grace of self or of Brahman. Another meaning also may be that through the grace of the Guru helps you by teaching and directing you. The sage Śvetāśvatara acquired the supreme knowledge, the knowledge of Brahman, through his own efforts and through the grace of God. Then he passed it on to others. To whom? Atrasramibha means to those who are beyond the ashramas, the stages of life. According to the Hinduism, there are 4 stages of life. First, brahmacharya, student life, then garastha, life of householder, next vanaprastha, the life of retirement, and finally there is sannyasa, the life of monk. Sannyasa is called here atasrama because a monk has gone beyond oti, the ashramas. He has renounced everything. If a person is prepared to renounce everything for the sake of supreme knowledge, then he is an atasrami. And this knowledge can only be given to such people. It is not meant for ordinary people because they will not be able to understand it. A person must be able to say, I know this knowledge is the goal of life. I want to reach that goal and I don't want anything else. Quote ends. Only when a person has this kind of determination is he eligible to receive this knowledge. Śvetāśvatara gives this knowledge to such people, to Vattasramis. Rishi Sangha juṣṭaṃ means sought for. This knowledge is sought after by all the rishis. It is the desired goal of all the sages who practice renunciation. Through renunciation, austerities, and the grace of God, they attain knowledge of Brahman. Shankara comments, self-knowledge is passed on parampara, on a lineage. That is, from father to son or from teacher to disciple. To be eligible for this knowledge, one has to work very hard indeed. Śvetāśvatara got this knowledge because he had lived a very austere life, and because God was gracious to him, owing to his selfless work. Austerity means one-pointed direction of the mind and the sense organs. Here, austerity means one-pointed direction of the mind and the senses. Śvetāśvatara practiced this for many lives. His sole aim was attainment of self-knowledge. His teacher helped him, and even God helped him. Finally, he had a direct and personal realization of aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Earlier only ascetics of the stature, like Sanaka, Sanandana, etc., had attained this knowledge. Śvetāśvatara, in his turn, taught self-knowledge to the monks. Monks are those who have totally renounced the world. They are free from avidya, ignorance. Shankara and other sages had one time sought and adored this self-knowledge. So, this is the self-knowledge is the goal of life, and those who are fit candidate talk to them. 22nd verse. Hey. Even the Bhagavad Gita says, idantu no atapaskayo, no, what is that? Asusave, those who are not done, purified their mind with tapasya, austerity. Don't say this Gita to anyone and everyone. So everywhere there is a warning. That warning is not to make anyone throw away from their earnest seeking, but that warning is for protection and misunderstanding. As I said, sometimes even good things are not good. Who is Sanaka? Oh, there are Sanaka. Sanaka means there are 4 rishis. There is a belief that these rishis are eternally free. Brahma has created them at the very beginning. Shuka, Sanandana, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara. They are the 4 Rishi Kumars. And they are always established in Brahma Jnana. So, and they roam around in the world, in the body, not in the gross body, but subtle body, to help every soul to be awakened into consciousness. And so he is one of the eternally free sadhu. Google says, okay, what Google says? Says Sanaka is one of the revered Sanakadi rishis, or 4 Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara. Mind-born son of Lord Brahma. As Brahmananda Swami is the mind-born son of what? Ramakrishna. So, this son of special characteristic of his this, that 4 Kumaras, Sanaka, they are mind-born sons of Lord Brahma, known for their eternal youth, celibacy, and profound spiritual wisdom, wandering the universe to spread divine knowledge, particularly of Lord Vishnu as the great devotee and narrators of scriptures of Bhagavata Purana. So it is the Sanaka, actually Rishi, when the king was waiting for his last death, that the snake will come and bite. And that time this says Sukadeva, and they are in the group. And he related this story to Bhagavat Purana. Okay, thank you. So tomorrow will be gospel class. And tomorrow, who is? I am giving. Okay, so tomorrow I shall be here for gospel class. Thank you for coming.
Well, an opportunity has come to go to Kashi.
Kashi?
Go back to Kashi on end of February.
Oh, go.
Can I have your blessing to go?
Oh, of course. And go. But keep your body fit. God realization through the body. And then that body will be good for the growth and development of God's instrument. Then it will be God's instrument. So before that, should take care of the body.